Uh, Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Claypool. I'm a professor in the History of Art, Design, and Visual Culture program at the University of Alberta. Joining me today is Dr. Nina Kurtovic. Welcome, Nina.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everyone.
I'd like to talk with you today about one of your favorite artworks. But before we do that, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about how you got into the field of art history.
Okay, thank you, Lisa, for a very challenging question. This was, of course, many, many years ago. So I had to think back to the time when I was choosing my undergrad studies. So in high school, I was very interested in humanities, and I actively pursued singing and acting, and I enjoyed writing. So when the time came to choose university department or program, I was thinking, why not put these two things together? Mm-hmm. So choosing an art history department and program made a lot of sense because I was looking to study more about Western and European history, culture, but also I wanted to learn more about visual art and including performing arts. And that's how it happened. I've applied for, and I took entrance exams at the University of Belgrade long time ago, and I got in, and I never looked back. So
right, and eventually you moved to Toronto, and
eventually there. Thank you. Yeah, so we came to Toronto also many years ago, and I just continued. I pursued MA at York University, and then I completed my PhD in art history department at the University of Toronto. At that time, my interests and my research developed to include history of photography. So,
Excellent. So perhaps you can share with us one of your favorite artworks, and we can talk about it.
Let's try that. So here is one of my favorite artworks, and it's a work by a group of Dadaist artists from Zurich. It's from 1916, so 100+ years ago. I teach modern art and contemporary art, but this work may seem like it's, pushing us way back in the past. However, a lot of what these Dadaist artists did back then reflects in the practice of contemporary artists, say, especially performance artists that I'm interested in. So this work is funny. It has this funny title, The Admiral is in Search of a House to Rent. It was basically a script, a poem for a performance that, these artists took part in. So you have 3 artists standing on the stage, reading their lines. Each line is in a different language, different European language, from English to French to German. This is all, of course, happening in 1916. Europe is in the middle of this big war that's dividing the continent. And yet here you have a group of young artists standing together and therefore performing not only poetry, but a particular political, you could almost say, action. So the piece is interesting to me because, I think it connects to what's happening today in the world. It is funny. It is provocative. It does new things in terms of what we expect from poetry and from theatrical performance. And it included a lot of noise, and audience was implicated. So I like that too, the openness of the form itself.
Right. When I look at these pages, it seems like it actually embodies noise in some respects.
Yes. And so the artists were performing not only words, but there were noises made, there were crazy sounds integrated, and the entire script was published in a magazine also edited by Dadaists, by Zurich Dadaists, called Cabaret Voltaire. So, it was meant to be read and passed on. And, I like the form of this piece because it's pretty kind of inclusive, not only silly, but inclusive, political, challenging. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's one of my favorite pieces for sure.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you for joining me today. And for those of you who are interested in studying contemporary art, you may check out Nina's courses in the course catalog. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Lisa. Thank you all.